Good morning, I'm Jessica Fox. I'm here in downtown Oakland, California. And today we're going to be telling the story about the Pollinator Posse, which is a nonprofit volunteer-run group that's trying to basically spread the word about pollinators and pollinator habitat through the urban jungle. So we're going to be walking through this special garden, and let's go take a look.
As a park supervisor, I got this garden in 2010. And I have this garden and 100 other locations in Oakland. But I started, learning more about pollinators at Merritt College. I went to a couple butterfly gardening seminars up there, and I watched the movie Queen of the Sun. And I realized, I woke up literally with an epiphany saying, oh my God, it's not farmers and pesticides, it's us, it's landscapers, it's humans, and how we look at landscapes and how we're making everything aesthetically pleasing to humans and wiping out our ecosystems. And because I work here, I have thousands of volunteers, I have staff that's affecting it. I decided I had to be the one. I had to get loud. And so the first step I did was add more pollinator habitat, and also making the bee hotel. We got the habitat sign from National Wildlife Federation, and they loved that. We got the mayor to take the Mayor's Monarch Pledge at National Wildlife Federation. And then last year she declared May 22nd the Pollinator Posse Day in Oakland. Nice. And did it here.
Darrell, you have a little bit of backstory around sort of how you kind of came to the garden, and what's a little bit of your story?
Oh wow, where do I start? Just being born and raised in Oakland, California, it's a different scene. So, like when you're born here, it's just like you're exposed to different things. Let's just put it like that. So, back in 2010, I came here as a part-timer after losing two brothers. So it's just like, I was just like foggy, like things were, I was just looking at life different at the time. I got called to the back of this garden one day at work by my supervisor, Victoria Rocha. And she's just like, I want to show you something. I didn't know what she wanted to show me at the time. So I came back here and she's just like, she put this bug on me. At the time, it's just a bug. So I didn't know what it was. I wasn't into it. So I'm just freaking out. I'm just like, oh my God, what is this? And she's laughing, so I'm just like, what's going on? She's like, it's just a caterpillar. So it's just a big hairy little thing. So turns out it was a monarch butterfly. You probably think I'm, pulling your chain, but I was kind of scared of bugs. Like seriously,
Wait. You were scared of bugs?
Yes.
Look. He's a foot. How did you lost two brothers?
Yes.
How'd you lose your brothers?
Gun violence.
Okay.
Yeah, gun violence. Just, it's like it's normal growing up, like people normalize the wrong things. Like this should be normalized, like nature should be normalized, like just understanding like how we get oxygen. And going down the line, like to seeing what pollinates the trees and what pollinates the fruit. We're not taught things like that where I grew up at. So, when I ran into this lady, we call her name's Victoria, but we call her Tora. So she doesn't mind. So when I ran into her, it was just like, I need this.
They had a project down on the estuary, and there was all this fennel that they were all cutting down for meters. And so another employee told me that she didn't understand why Darrell said, no, we can't do this fennel over here. We have to leave it for the butterflies. And all the other employees are looking at him like, what? I just heard this story for the first time a month ago. And so and then when I told her how I chased Darrell with the butterfly, and then he would come to my office.
You chased Darrell with a butterfly?
Yes.
I did. Because he wouldn't do it. I'm like, come here, let's release a butterfly. He's like, no. I'm afraid. And I was like, dude, you're 6'5".
And she's just back here laughing, and I'm just like, what's the joke? So.
And then after that, he would come to my office when he'd come in at the end of the day, and he's like, I got any more butterflies? And then, you found that little boy, and he released Monarch. The little boy said, I'm afraid of bugs. Darrell told him a story.
He's going through the same thing I was going through, so.
And then he had him release it, and then the father is standing there looking all like he was going to be too cool for the whole situation. And then he saw the kid release the butterfly, and then he's like, can I do that? And then we built butterfly gardens with his families that came in here, and it changed their life. It's not just about building it, it's maintaining it. It's not over pruning it, over manicuring it. You know, people don't know that a lot of butterfly pupa, they'll drop to the ground and wrap themselves up in a leaf and wait out until spring. So they're raking their leaves or wiping out that whole generation of hair streaks. It's like training the staff to just be gentler, and that it actually, and then also, you know, using signage so that I can change the perception of the public, because the public would, you know, email me and say, why didn't you weed this area of Lake Merritt? You know, I'd get like 50 emails, and then I'd put the sign out there that said, pardon our weeds, it's pollinator habitat. The same 50 people would say, thank you for what you're doing. So it's changing that perception.
I never understood until she told me like what the bees do. You know, they're pollinators. Like without the bees, without flies, seriously, like flies, you'd be surprised like what they just pollinate. You know, our oxygen, our food supply, like it all comes from them. So, you know, without them, like it'd be no us.
You know, he told all the directors of Parks and Rec one day, and he stood up in front of them and said that learning this changed his life, that if he researched something, he can get over his fear of it.
Yes. Now I'm just seeding the world. I was gonna pull up a picture to show you guys. So here's some of my seeds. I don't know if you guys can see. So I'm just like going through all the parks over in Oakland. I'm just seeding everything.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so they're blooming.
He did that with the community. At first they teased him a little.
Yeah, definitely.
What'd you get teased about? What was that about?
Just basically, you know, I'm just back here like looking for caterpillar eggs and just stuff like that. And they're just like, what are you doing? You know, it was kind of weird to them because like she said, you know, a lot of people's not into it.
How do you shift gears, and how do you like prioritize coming and working in the garden and talking about nature and pollinators when you have all that going on?
It's just like, you know, it's a whirlwind. It's, you know, it's hard, you know, because then I got my mom and like her only son left. So it's like, you got to balance all these things. It's, you know, that's just put more stress on you. So it's just like you get overwhelmed real quick. So then you come in here into this garden and you look around, it's just like it's a breath of fresh air.
Well, this used to be, a long time ago, it was like a phormium and blue fescue bed, and with gravel and weed cloth, and we all know now that weed cloth is bad. Native bees can't nest. So we scraped it. We're gonna sift through this, and then we're gonna plant a meadow, a wildflower meadow, because nobody's doing meadows, like in urban settings. You don't ever see, like, I go to other public gardens and they go, oh, there's the meadow. It's a big lawn that they mow. I'm like, that's not a meadow. So we're gonna do a demonstration meadow here.
Are we literally in the middle
You're
of
in the
downtown
heart.
Oakland?
You are in the heart of the city, literally. And it's just not many cities have a lake right inside the city. So this actually, Lake Merritt is the very first wildlife sanctuary in the country. It's 2 years older than Yellowstone.
Wow.
Because of the migratory birds that come through Lake Merritt. But they let all these high-risers come up. So that was my main point, is this is how we're treating our oldest wildlife sanctuary. And that's why I needed to start creating wildlife habitat.
I want to call myself a pollinator because I'm just like pollinating where I come from, like the guys, you know, that, you know, just trying to reach them, you know, like, hey, go to the, you know, it's free. You know, nature is free, you know, like it's like one of the only things that we got that's left, you know, that's free that they enjoy, like, so.
We really appreciate coming here to Oakland today and having you show us the garden and telling us the story of Pollinator Posse. And we hope everybody at the Pollinator Power Party 2022 appreciates this story and can help sort of translate this to some of their own communities and their own gardens. You don't have to be a master gardener. You don't even have to have studied biology. You can just get out, put some native seeds on the ground, and start talking to your friends about it.
Definitely.
You are going to be an inspiration for a lot of other people.
Thank you. You know, I'm planting wild seeds right now. You know, we call them the pollinator seeds. Got these little packs. You know, we just call them the pollinator seeds. It's just wildflowers. And every time I get a bloom, I think about Tora. I just think about Victoria. You know, I text her and I'm just say, hey, I got a bloom. And it just reminds me of her. Because, you know, like, I was in a dark place when I first met her. So now it's just like every time I see a bloom, I think of her. Because she helped me bloom. Like, it's just like I'm still blooming.